We've been having some fun with Max and the, there we go. All right. Thank you. So we always lead with this slide. Our mission is very simple. First of which is write good software. That's why we're all here. Everyone feels like this thing that we're working on collectively is important. And so that's our job as the consortium, is to continue bringing those, software engineering principles and practice to this project as a whole. Beyond that, we want to grow the community, which obviously everyone here is doing a fine job helping out with that, and we thank you for that. And the last of which is showing value to our membership, and we do that in a number of ways. The first of which is, sorry, my slides aren't in the order I thought they were in. Moving on, the business model is very straightforward here, but we typically start with a proof of concept, and that can be hands-on, so we provide a lot of email support. We also provide service and support contracts. The idea being that we can, get one of those agreements in place that can last for a year or more, and then you get basically a bundle of hours to do with whatever you wish. We can provide training, we can provide, hands-on keyboards, we can write custom plugins for iRods, rule bases, actually just come there and install this for you, so we can provide all of those different capabilities. But ultimately, we are a membership-driven organization, and that's how we sustain all of the things that are going on around you here. And that is between 4 levels of $10,000, which we call our read-only membership, all the way up to $150,000, which admittedly Renzi is our only premier member at this point. And with that, you get some hours of support. So anywhere between 10 to 300. Once again, you can use those for anything you wish, from plugins to training to just troubleshooting what is going on within your iRods installation. But the key there is that beyond that, you get the participation in the roadmap. And this is where I start to get excited about this, because we want to bring everybody to the table and help us figure out how to steer this ship in a way that makes sense for the rest of the community. And I think in this last year, we've probably been more successful than many in that, and that we've been able to start lifting these patterns out of the community of what we've seen all of our users doing, and then be able to reflect that back in the software. And it's not necessarily just in iRods itself, but within the ecosystem of software that we're growing around iRods. So that can be all of the different plugins for the resources, of course, but we've been building different rule bases out there, and we saw yesterday during a lot of the advanced training anyway, we have the automated ingest and other things that we're going to hear about that we've seen in the community and are now capturing in a way that we can version and productize and then support across the board, and that makes everything easier for everybody. And beyond that, you get a discounted hourly rate, so that always helps out as far as needing additional support. The other thing that we're pursuing now is Tier 3 support. So we have a number of system integrators that have joined the consortium, as well as the compute and storage vendors who can also provide Tier 1 and Tier 2 support, and then we can just simply back you up when something is actually really broken and needs fixed, or on the other hand, maybe a new feature needs to be added to the system itself. So as far as the activity this year, we've welcomed 6 new members, so that is very exciting for us, and we've had at least 4 service contracts beyond that, but we've had, I want to say it's probably closer to 16 proofs of concept this year. And the interesting thing about that to me that has been that has started out almost across the board with automating ingest on the left from either file systems or instruments or what have you, like we've talked yesterday, and then somehow moving that data through the system, either from the edge to the instruments, out to archival storage, or out to analysis, or integrating with parallel file systems and so on. So every proof of concept we did this year started out with that same theme. And I feel like we're getting on a pretty good footing as far as building these features out. So the capabilities that you see back here are these things that we're going to package and productize and version. The first of 2 I'd mentioned are the automated ingest and the storage tiering, and everything else that's going to grow around that. So since we're all in the room, if there's something else that is missing, up here, or that we need to add or address, then this is absolutely the time to make it known. So we've had at least 4 training events, and we've had 5 new hires. So I think our employees are becoming too successful because they're all going somewhere else. And beyond that, we have joined the OpenSFS Consortium. So as an effort to help sustain not only another piece of open source software, but sort of as a testament to our goal of integrating directly with Lustre and other parallel file systems, we've joined that consortium. and hopefully we can work together and build that relationship to integrate these two pieces of software in a way that makes sense for the HPC community as a whole. Beyond that, we've had some other exciting times within the consortium. So we've had the metadata templates working group. So that was a reoccurring meeting that we've had between our friends at NIEHS and RENCI and the broader community about how we can develop the technology around providing metadata templates as a service and a feature across iRODS and all of the additional clients that happen to be communicating with the system. Beyond that, we have now moved on to the MetaLinks working group. So this is a working group built around that open source piece of software that EMC had donated to the consortium. And this is, I think at this point, becoming our flagship web-based interface to iRODS, and it's becoming quite robust. We've had 10 external code contributors this year, so as an open source product, that's really important. The more help that we can get from the community, the better across the board. The more eyes, the more better. Let's see, beyond that, we've had 70 new iRODS chat members and 75 new Twitter followers. I mean, how can you beat that? We're doing great. How many Twitter followers do we have? It's not 75. So we have 6 new consortium members we can welcome here. So we've got Quantum, SNCC, through KTH out of Sweden. We have Surf Sara out of the Netherlands. We've welcomed NetApp at the University of Groningen and NIEHS as well. So welcome everybody. We appreciate it very much. And I actually had fun making this slide because I was running out of room. So we're going to have smaller logos from here on up. So we are up to 18 consortium members. And there are quite a few more in the pipeline still. So questions, comments, criticisms, and/or complaints, or anything beyond that? 3, 2, 1. Nope. I'll say good morning tomorrow at least, so, you know. All right, well, I think beyond that, then we have the fun stuff from here on out. The technology update is next.